Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Mood India, the program which brings to you the performing arts from the Indian subcontinent. We just witnessed a beautiful dance piece performed by Asavari Devadiga and Malati Gadgil. Both of them have learned Bharatnaatyam from their teacher Guru Sucheta Chapekar and have been performing Bharatnaatyam for more than 15 years. Just to recap, in the previous episode, Asavari and Malati showed us what Bharatnatyam is all about, how they use the entire body as a vehicle for the dance to reach to the audience. They also showed us how they use the head movements, the eye movements, the neck movements, of course along with hand gestures, footwork and expression to perform a Bharatnatyam dance piece. Bharatnatyam, which is the classical dance form from southern part of India, is choreographed to traditional South Indian classical music called Carnatic music. However, I think this dance which we just saw did not appear the same as what we saw in the previous episode. Can you just tell us a little more about it?
Yes, the basic dance form is Bharatnatyam, but it's just a new style called Nritya Ganga.
So during our guru's time of research, when she was researching the Marathi compositions written by the rulers of Tanjore, the Maratha rulers of Tanjore, Sarfoji and Shahaji, the audience appreciation was tremendous, and encouraged by this response, she thought she would take it even a little bit closer to the audiences by composing Hindustani classical music and bringing it into Bharatnatyam and forming a synthesis of these two styles. In going forward with this research, she did not want Bharatnatyam to just be a transplant or a translation of the traditional form. She wanted the Bharatnatyam to take its own roots in Hindustani classical music, and this would then restore the integrity of both Bharatnatyam and Hindustani classical music, and therefore she calls it Nritya Ganga.
So can you tell us the difference between Nritya Ganga and Bharatnatyam? I mean, she's saying it's the same dance presented in a different style, so but yet it looks different. So what is the difference between these two, Nritya Ganga and Bharatnatyam?
The basic difference is the music. The basic dance form stays the same. It's a South Indian traditional classical dance form, Bharatnatyam, which is typically performed to South Indian or Carnatic style of music. However, for Nritya Ganga, we perform Bharatnatyam to North Indian or Hindustani classical music. So that's the distinctive character of Nritya Ganga.
So basically it is the South Indian style. So the grammar of the dance remains the same.
That is right. The steps are same.
It's the same steps, only you present it to a different kind
Correct.
of music.
That's right.
So, if we talk about different kind of music, is it because the instruments used are different, or what? How is this music different?
The music is different via rhythm, or which can be actually presented with different percussion instrument. For example, in Bharatnatyam we have mridangam, and in Nritya Ganga we use pakhwas, right?
Right. So, for example, the mridangam notes of ta tai tai ta, dhit tai tai ta, which are a combination of the sounds made on the mridangam, as well as they come very close to the sound that the dancer makes during her dance. So this is the sort of the language of mridangam which is used in Bharatanatyam, in traditional Bharatanatyam, but now we had to come up with a whole new phraseology in Nritya Ganga. So the percussion instrument of choice was selected as the pakhwas, because the sound of the pakhwas is fairly similar to mridangam and to the sound, like I mentioned, of the dancer's feet. Also, the tabla is somewhat of a different instrument. It's a faster instrument. It is a more versatile instrument which was not picked up, and instead the pakhwas was selected. So ta tai tai ta was then translated into dha da din ta kita dha din ta.
So with a little change in the use of instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So now the entire Adavu system that we say, the basic steps of Bharatnatyam, have now all been set to the sounds of the pakhwas.
So, now you're saying it is to a traditional Hindustani classical music, which is a North Indian music,
right.
And the dance, the Adavus, the steps are exactly same, so it is South Indian. So this is actually a blending of two styles. So was there any change in the way the steps are done, or any such changes?
Actually, there were no changes in the steps at all of Bharatnatyam. If you see the dance form, it has remained the same. There were changes, like I mentioned before, in the percussion instrument. However, to keep the integrity of the Nritya Ganga of the Hindustani classical style and to bring in some of those elements of the Hindustani classical music, there was a need to incorporate and to a need to sort of broaden Bharatnatyam to be able to take in these elements of the Hindustani classical music, such as the alap, for example, which is, everybody recognizes it as an integral part of Hindustani music. So the alap has been used very innovatively in Nritya Ganga style. It is used like a shabdam or a padam in Bharatnatyam. It is used sort of right in the middle of a recital to tell a story, to describe something. So for example, in the first piece that we presented today, we told the story of some villagers who had completely lost all their crops. So they go up to a sage and say, "Can you do something for us?" And he says, "Yes, I will do a penance." He calls upon Ganga to come down on the earth and irrigate the villagers' land. Except when she came down, she came in huge fury and she destroyed everything in her path. So the sage went up to Shiva and he says, "Can you help these people?" So he picks her up on his head and just allows a small stream to flow, and that is the story which can be elaborated and told during this alap.
Just a sidetrack, since you mentioned Ganga, why did your teacher come up with this name, Nritya Ganga?
Yeah, Nritya Ganga is, in its new nomenclature, it indicates the continuous flow of tradition that is never stagnant. Nritya stands for dance, and Ganga is the holy river Ganga that is worshipped or revered in India. And that also symbolizes a north-south integration achieved through this dance form. And it also gives a new dimension to Bharatnatyam, and this presenting Bharatnatyam to the North Indian music has definitely made it more enjoyable to the lay audience as well as the discerning audience without compromising the highly artistic values.
So can you all demonstrate a piece where we can see Bharatnatyam and Nritya Ganga so that our audience can know and we can know how they are similar and what it is about?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I will be performing a traditional piece of Bharatnatyam called from Jatiswaram, a small demonstration of it, where the jatis or the sholus, the words are used, and there is also swaras or notes which are used, and there is a choreography, a dance choreography set to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I'll be performing is similar to Jatiswaram, but there'll be a series of different jatis. And they will be interspersed with swaras or the musical notes, but in Hindustani rag. So that particular composition, a piece that I'm going to present, is called Ashtamangal.
Wow, that was a really nice presentation of dance. What are the, if we compare a traditional Bharatnatyam recital and a traditional Nritya Ganga recital, can you just tell us how similar or how different they are?
One of the distinctive features is a costume. Like you see, we are wearing a different costume than what we wore last time. This costume is for Nritya Ganga and is based on or a derivative of a 9-yard sari typically worn in Maharashtra. We have kashta at the back, like a strip of cloth, and there is a diagonal fan at the front, and the girth of around the legs is a little tighter, and especially because there is a vigorous upper body movements involved in dance with stretches and jumps in Bharatnatyam, the costume needs to be secure.
And what about the typical dance performances per se? What are the different dances performed in each?
Oh, this is actually a common costume for both pure dance patterns as well as Abhinay compositions.
Okay.
Yes, it's a constant one. Yeah, and I wanted to also mention that there's a long fan in the front that spreads out when we have the typical square-like position, Ayata Mandala in Bharatnatyam.
So is there a sequence of dance, like, we usually start dance performance with an invocation.
Yes.
So in both you go the same way.
That's right, yeah.
And then you have pieces where you show Abhinay and footwork.
Right.
And how do you end the performances?
Right. In Bharatnatyam, a typical repertoire in Bharatnatyam starts with Allaripu, which is an invocatory pure dance composition, followed by Jatiswaram, where we perform pure dance to swaras or musical notes. And then we have Shabdam, followed by Varnam. Varnam is like a color of the recital with both interpretative and pure dance composition patterns. And then we have pure Abhinay compositions, and eventually ending the recital with Tillana, a joyous bouquet of pure dance patterns. Similarly, in Nritya Ganga, we begin with Prastar, which is similar to Allaripu, a pure dance pattern starting with basic, simpler steps leading to complex steps. And then we have Sargam, which is similar to Jatiswaram. And then we have Abhinay, again a combination of pure dance and interpretative dance. Then a couple of Abhinay or pure Abhinay or interpretative compositions, and then eventually concluding with Tarana, which is similar to Tillana. And the final composition that we are going to present is actually Tarana in Kedar Rag.
So since Asavari mentioned Abhinay, so there is also a few changes that were made in while choreographing a Nritya Ganga style recital, is to pay particular attention to the Abhinay part of it. While so many compositions have been written in Bharatnatyam in South Indian languages for the Bharatnatyam, what would be part of Hindustani classical music which could be used quite easily and confidently in a Bharatnatyam recital? So some people may be aware that Natya Sangeet is poetry written, and it's suggestive enough that we are now able to use it in Bharatnatyam to elaborate these sequences.
Okay. So what do you think is the future of Bharatnatyam? It is a living traditional dance and it has shown so many changes. So what do you see as its future now?
I think given the appreciation and the rapport that you can build with the audiences, only sky is the limit where Nritya Ganga can go. Today, as like in Bharatnatyam, a lot of compositions have been written, thousands of compositions have been written for Bharatnatyam, and every part, evocative part, has been used in Bharatnatyam to show sensuous love, to show the mother's love, of Vatsalya Bhav, as we say, that in Hindustani such compositions need to be brought in to sort of make it as to bring in as much variety and as much richness as possible, and that, I think, that is the future.
Sounds very interesting. So let's go ahead, and can you show us some, what you were mentioning was Tarana.
Sure, right.
So can you show us the piece of Tarana?
Yes,
for
definitely.
us to enjoy?
Yes, thank you.
we conclude today's episode. This is Nirmal Gosavi on behalf of entire team of Mood India. Thank you.